Yeah. YouTube. What's up, baby? Back in this thing again for another review. This is Q's Insight. I'm Callie, and today we're going to be talking about a movie called The Rundown. All right. So this is an older movie. Came out back when, I think it was, it came out 2003. All right. Now, at this point in time, in 2003, I was still in high school. You know what I'm saying? And one of my favorite actors, was The Rock, and it still is to this day. But ever since seeing the commercial, I always wanted to see this movie, and I did. But I think when I saw it, I don't think I saw it in the theaters. I think I saw it like when it was available to rent. And when it was available to rent, I just bought it like right off the bat. I didn't even watch it. I just bought it, and then I watched it. But you know what I'm saying. But yeah. So this movie is called The Rundown. Now, if you've been to the channel before, you already know how we do it. We started off with the premise, 3 favorite scenes, the grade, and then we on to the next one, right? So again, this movie is called The Rundown. So this movie, first of all, has Seann William Scott in here as Dwayne Johnson, as Christopher Walken, as Rosario Dawson, as Ernie Reyes Jr., bro. It has Ewan Bremner. So these are just names, few names that, people will, recognize. So, but yeah, so let's go off with the premise. So you have Dwayne Johnson's character. His name is Beck. Now he works for a kind of like a boss, like that runs stuff. You know what I'm saying? And the boss's name is Walker. All right. So The Rock is Walker's like left hand man. You know what I'm saying? Like whenever there's a job needs to be done, he'll hit up Beck. If it's collecting money, he'll hit up Beck. If it's retrieving somebody, he'll hit up Beck. If it's for muscles, he'll hit up Beck. You know what I'm saying? So Beck is his to-go-to guy when, situations get hairy. So Beck just so happens that he does one per se mission for Walker, and it's to retrieve this Super Bowl ring from this NFL player, right? So Beck does get the Super Bowl ring, and he tells Walker that this is his last, this is the last thing I can do for you. After this, I want out. I want my money that's owed to me, and I'm going to open up a restaurant. So Walker's like, oh, you're out, huh? All right, well, I'll tell you what. Do one more thing for me. I'm going to give you the money that you want. You'll never hear from me again, and everything will, you'll get everything you want. So Walker tells Beck that he needs to get his son back to the States for whatever reason. And his son is played by Seann William Scott, which is, and on the movie, his name is Travis. Okay? So Beck, of course, being that he wants to get out of this game that he's in, he ends up taking the mission per se to go retrieve Travis. So he has to go to where Travis is, which is far away. I don't even know. I forgot where that was. Maybe it was Brazil or something like that. I think it is Brazil. But he goes to Brazil, I believe, tracks down Travis, and he's tasked to bring Travis back to Walker. Now, when Beck gets to Brazil, he runs into Christopher Walken's character, which is Cornelius. All right, Hatcher. He runs things in Brazil. He runs his gold mining business. And he basically has the people of Brazil almost as slaves working underneath him, right? So there is a resistance that goes against Hatcher, and they're led by Manito, which is Ernie Reyes Jr.'s character, and also Rosario Dawson's character, Mariana. So these two are tasked with trying to free their people from Hatcher, as Beck is tasked to retrieve Travis and bring him back to the States so that he can, his father, Mr. Walker, can do whatever he needs to do, right? So it ends up being that Travis finds this, he knows the whereabouts of this special statue that's made out of gold and has a lot of like history to it, and it's pretty much a priceless artifact. He gets this, he can free up his name, he can free up whatever situation he's in. You know, he'll be big news, you know, just whatever. And so eventually what ends up happening is, in order to get Travis back to the States, Hatcher tells Beck that he needs Travis to find the artifact, bring it to him, and then Beck can take Travis back to the States. So that's basically the premise of the movie. I don't want to give out everything, but I did dump out a big spew of basically what the movie is about. Now, like I said, this is an older movie. I'll be surprised if not too many people have seen it or whatever it may be, because this is one of The Rock's better movies. You know what I'm saying? Especially back in the 2000s, like, you know, the early 2000s. You know, he had some movies here and there that were cool, like The Be Cool. That was whatever. He didn't have that much of a role in there. Something else, where he was like I can't even remember. He just had some movies, you know what I'm saying? Some of them were hits, some of them hit, and some of them missed for sure. But this is one of the ones that made me, like, you know, realize that, you're like, The Rock is the dude, and he deserves to be the star in these movies. You know what I'm saying? He can definitely carry the load, especially with a great ensemble cast that he had surrounding him, right? But yeah, so that's basically the premise of the movie right there, dude. Three of my favorite scenes. These may be out of order, but these are three of my favorite scenes. I know this one ain't out of order. It's the very first scene when Beck takes on the NFL players so that he can retrieve the Super Bowl ring. That was a dope scene, and that was a great way to set the movie off. A great way to set the movie off. He's taking out, like, what is it, like, 3 big NFL players, and then like 2 other, like, you know, regular sized ones, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But he's taking them all out by himself, bro, and he gets the job done. No, you know, just it was a dope scene, very memorable, and I just remember the song by Mrs. Elliott playing in the background while they were in the club. So that'll be my first favorite scene. My second favorite scene has to be, man, it has to be when Manito, Ernie Reyes Jr.'s character, goes against Beck. And the reason why he goes against Beck is because Travis tricks Manito to thinking that Beck's character is like making fun of Manito. So because of that, you know, Manito and his people, they end up going against Beck, and like, it is a crazy fight, and it's hilarious too at the same time, man. Ernie Reyes Jr., bro, Manito, you do your thing in that scene, bro, for sure. Like, how fast he was moving, bro, and the choreography, oh crap. The choreography was like really, really great for that scene. So that'll be 2 of my favorite scenes. My third favorite scene would probably be my third favorite scene is when Mariana gives Beck and Travis the kung lavos, which is like I don't know if this is a real fruit or that's native to Brazil, or maybe this is just made up, but it's a fruit called kung lavos. And they don't know it at the time when they eat it, but she knows it, and it's like a hallucinogen, like type of fruit, So you eat it, and then you just start, like, people's faces start morphing, and you can't move, and you become paralyzed, and just like whatever else it may be. So that was a favorite. That was one of my favorite scenes. It's like seeing The Rock or seeing Beck and seeing Travis look at each other, and their faces are morphing. They're looking at Mariana. Her face is morphing, and of course, when they're paralyzed and down and out, she ends up leaving them. I thought that was a pretty cool scene, bro, for sure, for sure. And just it runs into my another scene that I love, which is the monkey scene. But we're not even gonna mention that because that's not gonna be one of my 3 favorite scenes that I list for in this video. But yeah, man, that'll be 3 of my favorite scenes. The grade for this movie, man, I love this movie. This movie to me is flawless. It is a great interpretation of how movies were back in the 2000s, like the early 2000s. And I really miss this time, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was a great time in life, you know what I'm saying? I was in high school, you know, you had The Rock, one of my favorite actors slash wrestlers, you know what I'm saying, out here doing this thing in a good movie, you know, very, very much so enjoyable. And I really wish that they made a number 2 to this. I hope that sometime in the future, maybe The Rock will rise up and make a number 2, whether it has, what's his name? Whether it has, let me get his name right, because I'm going to put some respect on his name, though, cuz. You know what I'm saying? We ain't mad to do that like that. If it has Seann William Scott in it, that'd be great. You know what I'm saying? If you can get the original cast back, that'd be great. I mean, probably not Hatcher, because it's a little different for him towards the end. But, you know, if you can get like the original cast back there, if not, just get Dwayne Johnson as Beck, and let's do another story, bro. Whether it's a prequel or a sequel, whatever, man. I just feel like this is like a thing that they can keep going. You know what I'm saying? Like, kind of a more funnier version of like a Indiana Jones, especially if they get back Seann Williams to do it. They can have like a funnier version of Indiana Jones. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, dude, the grade for this, man. There's not too many flaws in the story, in the action, in the acting. The cast is great. This is one of those memorable movies back from the early 2000s, bro. I gotta get this movie. I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10, bro. I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10 because I love this movie, and there's so many things that went right with this movie, and not too many things that went wrong with this movie that I can point out. Except for there ain't no number 2 yet. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, definitely 10 out of 10 for me. If you guys saw this movie, let me know what you guys thought about it in the comments down below. What were some of your favorite scenes? Would you like there to be a number 2? Or do you think it's just good as it is? Let me know about that in the comments down below, all right? Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. As always, this is Q's Insight. I'm Callie. Until next time.